Welcome to Lighten Up, the Art of Living Clutter-Free, a podcast for people who are ready to clear the physical, the mental, and the emotional clutter that's been weighing them down. I'm Melanie Cohen, your host, coach, and guide. Each week, we talk about the clutter you can see and the clutter you can't. The stuff in your home, the noise in your head, the expectations, habits, and unmade decisions that quietly drain your energy. This isn't about perfection or minimalism. It's about creating space for what actually matters in this season of your life. Let's lighten up together, starting now. Hi, friends. Welcome back to Lighten Up, the Art of Living Clutter-Free, the place where we talk about all things clutter. And this episode marks episode 1 of year 2 of the podcast. And I'm so excited, so proud of myself. And I can't think of a more fitting way to begin the year, but by talking about space. If you're listening to this the day the episode drops, yesterday, I hosted a New Year's Day workshop called Lighten Up, Start 2026 Clutter-Free. And whether you were there, meant to be there, but something came up, or just finding your way here now, I want to talk about what that space was really about, because it wasn't about a new year. Definitely wasn't about a new you. You know, that BS verbiage, new year, new you. Nope, not around here. In case you missed the workshop, here's what I want you to know. It wasn't a how-to. It's not about goal setting. And it wasn't about fixing anything. It was simply about creating space. Space to breathe, space to notice, space to name what's been quietly weighing you down physically, mentally, emotionally, or in the way your time and energy gets spent. So many of us arrive at the new year already exhausted. And then piling pressure on top of that does not help. Most of the work I do for women in the messy middle, it often overlaps with midlife, but it's not really about age. It's about load. It's about being capable, responsible, and high functioning, and still feeling like you're carrying too much. So I want you to think about all of the women who are in the middle of careers or in the middle of raising kids and aging parents, caregiving for anybody. The list goes on in terms of what creates that messy middle. And this is not about starting from scratch. You're not done. You're just in it, okay? And if that description makes you exhale a little bit, you are not alone. As we step into year 2 of this podcast, this idea, space over pressure, is really the foundation of everything that's coming next. One of the things that I have been talking about ever since I started this podcast is that clutter isn't just stuff. And I want to reinforce here. Clutter isn't just what's in your closet or on your counters. Clutter can be the thought loops in your head, the expectations you haven't questioned, the obligations that feel heavier than they used to, the pressure to have it all figured out. When we don't have space to process those things, they pile up, just like physical stuff can pile up. And then we start to feel crowded in our own lives. So I want to talk about 2 words, 2 very dirty words. Now you're really wondering. Neither of them start with an F. Okay. Those words are willpower and discipline. They are not the answer. These are the words that come up all the time when we talk about big change. I must have willpower. I must have discipline. They sound different, but for a lot of us, they land exactly the same way. Willpower sounds like something you're either born with or not. Like it's this elusive quality you have or you don't. Discipline sounds like something you should have figured out by now. And when things don't stick, we tell ourselves a very familiar story. If I just had more willpower, ... or if I were more disciplined, ... And both of those stories lead to the same place, self-blame. I am the master of those stories. I've been telling those stories forever. Now, when I hear people use the words willpower or discipline, it kind of makes me shudder. Most of the women that I work with don't lack willpower or discipline. They lack space, they lack support, and they're exhausted. Willpower and discipline both assume that we're making choices from a very calm and restful place. But most of us are making choices from overwhelm when we're stressed. So when something doesn't work, it is not a character flaw. It is not a willpower problem and it is not a discipline problem. It is a system problem. It is systemic. As we enter the new year, there's another really bad word that I don't like, and that's resolution. So, what is a resolution but a goal? Okay, so I have a better question for you. Instead of asking, what is my goal this year? I'm inviting people to try a different question. What kind of space do I need? Because space comes before answers, space comes before plans, space comes before action. Clarity tends to follow space, not the other way around. So if you know me and you've been around for a while, you know I am the queen of ridiculously simple goals. Today, we're going to talk about one ridiculously simple step. Choose one ridiculously simple step and we can accomplish it. Not a resolution, not a big overhaul, just one thing you can loosen your grip on. Pause, remove, stop managing so tightly. If you're listening now, I invite you to try this. Just one small, ridiculously simple step just becomes the foundation of bigger steps later. As we move into this next chapter of the podcast, I want to share a little bit about what you can expect over the coming month. You know, January, resolutions month. I've got some really great episodes lined up with experts who focus on clutter from different angles. And we're going to go back to basics in the best possible way. We're going to talk about your desk, your computer and digital clutter, and your mind, your mental and emotional clutter. Not in an overwhelming, do everything all at once way, but in a grounded, realistic way that meets you where you are. We'll explore why these areas get cluttered in the first place, how they affect your focus and energy, and how to start creating space without turning it into another project, another goal you have to manage. This season is less about quick fixes and more about building awareness, systems, and habits that actually work in real life, especially if you're already carrying a lot. So if you've been thinking, I don't know where to start, or I've tried this before and it didn't stick, you're in the right place. We're starting with the basics, not because they're simple, but because they're foundational. So here's what comes next. If you attended the workshop, you already know that 1 hour was never meant to be the whole thing. And if you missed it, this episode is your gentle on-ramp. I've recently opened registration for my new program, Lighten Up, the Clutter-Free Mindset Method. It is designed specifically for women who are in the messy middle who want support, not pressure, as they create real sustainable change. You can find more information in the show notes if you're curious. And please note, space is limited. If now isn't the moment, it's okay. Even just listening to this can make change. Noticing what feels heavy is the start to change. And asking a better question, like, what do I want space for versus what is a goal? That all counts. As we begin year 2 of this podcast, I want to leave you with this. You are not behind. You are not broken. And you don't need to become someone new to move forward in life. The most powerful way to begin is not with discipline or willpower. It's with space. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for starting this next chapter with me. And until next time, keep lightening up. Thank you for listening to Lighten Up, the Art of Living Clutter-Free. If this episode resonated, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could use just a little bit of lightness. If you're ready for deeper support, you can work with me one-on-one or join my Lighten Up Clutter-Free Mindset Group program. You can find all the details at my website, thoughtfullycoaching.com. Until next time, progress over perfection. Messy action is better than no action at all. So let's lighten up.